All right, we talked a little bit about the Trolls roster right there, and I think it's time we're gonna head straight into the interview. And we got this guy. He's been a quarterback in Norway for a long time. He's been a quarterback coach, not just for the teams, but also for a national team. And now he's back with vengeance, and he's gonna be the head coach of the comeback Trolls back to the Eliteserien. Welcome, Kasper Tveter.
Thanks for having me, guys. It's a pleasure.
All right, so let's just dive right into it, man. Like, welcome back to the Eliteserien.
Thank you. I'm glad that the federation allowed us to play. There was discussions there if the Trolls would even be allowed to play in the Elite Series. So, but I think it's the right move, and I think the other teams in the Elite Series agrees as well.
I mean, especially with the Oslo Vikings going to the Swedish series, that's the only move I can imagine is bumping you guys up to the Eliteserien and make it a four team series. And I think you deserve it. You got a lot of talent this year. Like you got some transfers that's really gonna bump up the team. Me and Sigurd, we talked a little bit about a few of the guys that we know from our Eidsvoll background and also just from paying attention to Norway. And I must say, like, you got some talent this year, and with some good coaching, I think the talent that you already have, you can really raise the talent of the rest of the guys and really bump up the overall talent of the team.
And for sure, and the interesting thing is that right now we have 35 guys on the roster, and of those
Wow,
35,
35 guys?
as of now we have 35. We'll see on game day, but as of
Yeah,
right now we're 35.
yeah.
It's a
But
big team.
of those 35, only 10 guys played the last time the Trolls played.
Oh wow.
Oh
So
wow.
it's been a lot of recruiting and a lot of new guys, also developing some younger guys to take the step up. I think we have 7 or 8 19-year-olds playing with us.
That's really good though.
That's huge. For the future, that's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, it is. And a lot of them also looking good, and we'll get some playing time as well. So, but only returning 10 starters from 2 years ago, uh, it's going to be not an issue, but a challenge for sure for the other
Yeah.
guys and building team chemistry. Especially if we want to get off to a hot start, it's going to be a different looking team than what we had last time.
But
Yeah, but luckily those 10 guys though that used to play, those guys are ballers and they have a lot of experience playing football, you know what I mean? So you
For
definitely
sure.
you struck gold with having those core guys staying over there and I think it's going to be a really good experience for you guys after your first game and like you're going to learn a lot. So,
I think so, and also those core guys that is still there is one of the biggest parts in my decision to come back and be the head coach. Is that without those guys, we don't have a team.
exactly.
So to build off of that, and not only on the field, but in the locker room as well. They're just like those guys are the Trolls, and that's why we're trying to build off of.
Yeah, it's
So
natural leaders, you know. I
yeah,
remember
100%.
when I played U19 over at Trolls like a few years back. I remember those guys were just leading the locker room back then as well. So I just know they're the right guys to have at helm of like
Mhm.
hyping up the boys and everything.
I
And another thing this year is that we're gonna have try to play guys only one way. So that's it's been a different story with the Trolls in recent years. You had all the best guys play both ways in all special teams.
Hmm.
So I think that's gonna make them better, but obviously it's big shoes to fill when they're not playing both ways.
Yeah, that's gonna be exciting because like a lot of I'm sorry if I interrupted your question there, Goose, but yeah, it's gonna be exciting because there's not a lot of teams that can do that and will do that, and that's definitely an experimental thing to do, but it's also a really good thing to do because you get someone that's actually going to be dedicated. Okay, so say you have one guy at left end, you're going to get one guy that's really dedicated to getting that starter position and that job at left end and doing a good job there. And if he's just going to be playing that for the entire year, then he's going to develop insanely more than a guy that's playing three ways. You know what I mean? Oh yeah,
I
yeah.
just wanna clarify something. So when you say it's 10 guys, is that 10 guys that was on the last Trolls roster, or 10 guys that actually played overall?
The 10 guys I counted was the guys that were on the roster that year.
All right, okay.
So,
So you still
so
have some more guys that actually had some Elite Seven experience outside of
yeah, we
those
have
10.
guys from other teams.
Yeah, but still
But
experience.
yeah. So we're not of those 25 guys. We have some solid players.
Yeah.
For sure.
I got a
So
question here. Is this
yep.
the Kasper Tveter effect that when you arrive, suddenly the roster is like booming, 35 guys, you get players from the other teams just jumping in. Like you got, we looked at the DBs, or even if Per, Eirik Lystein, Jakob Ribert is gonna play DB defense, like that's pretty solid DB core right there.
Yeah,
We got some solid DBs, but like I said, we're gonna have guys play one way, and
yeah, yeah,
Pate is gonna play offense for us if he's healthy. Right now, he's not.
yeah.
Um, but there's some good players on our roster right now, and I'm excited to see what they can do. But I think the big thing when I was announced as the head coach is the first thing I did was recruit as many of the Trolls players that I could to get all the guys that played juniors and didn't take the step up to seniors because the senior team wasn't what it should be. So I spent a lot of time getting a hold of all those guys that's been in the system that I coached back 7 years ago with the Trolls, and to try my best to get all as many Trolls core guys as possible. So we have some of those guys returning, and that's going to be also big for our team. A guy like Adrian Gobel, was a great athlete, was great for the Norwegian national
The end.
U19 team. He's right now he's playing the end, but he could definitely start at receiver for us also.
Oh,
So
that's
we have
awesome.
some of those guys that haven't played seniors in the last 3 years that's coming back now, and that's also going to be huge.
Yeah, I saw you guys. You guys picked up a name share of me. Yeah, yeah. You picked up Sigurd Nordby. Yes, I remember him being a baller when he was playing juniors and
It's
seniors
this,
way back.
it's yeah, it's exactly the same thing. A guy that hasn't been playing for a while,
Hmm.
and then now sees that the activity at Jordal is back to where it should be.
Yeah,
Things are looking good, and he's now one of the highly motivated guys and a great leader.
yeah, that's
He's at every
awesome.
practice, and he's going to be a key player on our offense this coming season.
Man,
That's
I was
awesome.
gonna
Because
ask you when I saw that Sigurd, and I was gonna ask you like, is that Sigurd? Is that OG Sigurd? And
It is.
I'm happy to
yeah,
hear it's him, man. And
He might be
that's
20
gonna be
kilos
really funny
heavier.
to see back there in
yeah,
action.
Uh, he
he
put
might
on
be.
he might be 20 kilos heavier than the last time I saw him, but
I
he
see him.
still looks fast. So
He's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. For sure.
we'll see what
Definitely
he
a
can do.
baller is gonna stay a baller, and athletes are athletes. But hey, I have a question. How's it been for you coming into this situation that Trolls were in before you took over the helm, and now just seeing how much you're thriving as an organization? How's it been for you?
It's been really exciting, and honestly, it's been going pretty much the right way since I decided to take on the position as head coach. The ball's just been rolling, and we haven't really met a lot of bumps so far on the road. But obviously, there's growing pains, and we are understaffed, and so now it's me as head coach, and Jørgen Gulbrandsen is our DC.
Yeah,
So he's a huge part of this rebuild as well.
yeah,
Uh, lucky for us, he tore his ACL in the GFL last year, so he's taking this year off to coach.
yeah.
And I really appreciate his commitment and his efforts to really. He's doing everything he can to
Yeah,
make our defense as good as possible, and I truly expect that we will have the best defense in the league this year.
that's a good mindset and a good like utgangspunkt. What is that? How do I say that? how do I say that in English? Uh, yeah, it's a good way to look at things, and it's a good
It's a good start.
it's a good start. It's a good it's a good start. It's a good start, and I honestly think you guys are going to be really competitive to meet this year from for any team, honestly. And Jurgen, as you said, he knows a lot about football, and he really cares about the trolls because I've talked to him a couple of times off like just talking to him because he's a friend of mine. I used to play juniors with him way back, and he's really excited about this, and he's put a lot of like time and effort into the trolls, and we can see that he's really like he's into this emotionally and physically.
Yeah, he's and it's I think it's his first time like full-time coaching. Like normally he's been an assistant coach and was supposed to play, then he got hurt and then ended up coaching. Like this year he committed in September to coach and do his rehab to then go back to playing in 2025 hopefully. So without him we're not looking so good right now
Yeah,
because I can do only so much and offensively, I know enough to be all right, but
yeah.
on defense, like there's just too much to handle. And so even though we're understaffed, I feel like we do a lot with the guys we have. And the feedback from the players at practice is that they're happy and it's fun. Football is fun again, and that's the
That's
big
awesome.
thing.
That's the big thing, exactly.
Can you tell us a little bit about how it was to have, I think it was it VG or TV2?
Opportunity for us to show our colors. I haven't really seen the clip, but I think they showed it at the Super Bowl Sunday. But they had a couple of guys that came to practice and tested out what football is about. So we roughed them up a little bit, threw
I
them some
remember
balls,
one
and
one clip. Uh, I think it was one of the guys that came for interview you guys. He got wrecked, like picked up and slammed down, and he was on
yeah.
the ground like my back, like
Oh yeah, I
Yeah,
remember. Hilarious though. Like right before that rep, I
yeah,
told the guy Albin, like he's
yeah.
one of our studs. He's gonna be one of our best receivers this year, super stud. But I told him right before the drill, do not truck or stiff arm this guy. Give him a move, score, and that's it. Two
he
seconds
went
later,
straight in
stiff
with
arm
that hit
straight
stick.
to the chin. Yeah, stiff arm straight to the chin, flatline them.
Oh,
Hey,
I
it was a
I,
good clip though. Good PR.
yeah, I'll
they
take
ran
that.
it. They ran it.
Yeah,
Yeah, hopefully he was alright. So
yeah.
That's funny.
thankfully,
I, any PR is a good PR, right? And man,
true.
I really have high hopes for the Trolls this year. I think I look at the roster. I think you're a talented bunch of guys. You obviously you get two really good OC and D, or your head coach and DC, I guess. And I wish you guys like the best of luck. And I'm really excited to see what you can pull off. Just one last thing. I'm seeing Lillestrøm is popping off with news about players they um, signed, both Norwegian and international. And I think some news is coming out from Glad soon about some international signings there too. Any idea for the Trolls to go that route, or are you gonna stay fully Norwegian all the way?
No, like we're right now we're in a complete rebuild and there's no uh, economy to support imports even if we wanted. But right now, I truly believe that our core of Norwegian player is better than the other teams, and that we will be able to compete with the guys we have. And there's no need as of us for it wouldn't make sense for us right now. We're building up our Norwegian core, and we're going to compete, and then we'll see next year what
Yeah,
uh, what we'll do.
yeah,
Yeah.
But as of March 1st, we're going to lock in our roster, the guys that's here now. That's who we trust, and that's who we're going forward with. And we will compete, and we will be tough.
yeah. I definitely have no doubt about that.
Right. Any last questions, Sigurd?
Um. No. I think you've answered everything that I was questioning, and I think it was a good, solid round of questioning.
Who did you guys highlight on when you went through the roster?
I
um,
definitely looked.
most, yeah,
All right, so all of them, all the transfers I looked a lot at, and the one I was like, that's gonna be interesting was Jakob Ribert, the cornerback,
Mm.
Hmm.
that he decided to not play for Vikings, which he came from before he went to the Crusaders. Was interesting to me why he went for the Trolls to play the Norwegian series instead of staying in the Swedish series.
He's one of those he's former junior Trolls player, right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So
I didn't know that.
yeah,
Hey, it makes
no,
it makes sense, but hey, there's a lot of there's a lot of disloyalty in this league, you know.
yeah, yeah,
So
true. But
yeah,
also you have like that whole thing that football in Norway is not always football first. Someone might prioritize family, work,
yeah,
or whatever, playing with your friends
yeah, that's
over.
for sure.
So
That's
That's
for sure.
most of us.
That's for sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's most of us, right?
yeah,
No, it's gonna be fun. We're excited. We're looking good.
yeah.
Yeah.
You are
Another thing
definitely.
I looked at was Eddie Santos as three tech and not as D end or tight end slash wide receiver.
Ideally, we'll play him at end, but as of right now, we don't have the personnel to. Um, he's probably 120 kilos, maybe 115 at the moment. So he can do some damage at the tree tech, but we'll see where we play him.
Yeah,
Hopefully, he can do damage at end too. So our D line's going to be solid.
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
The Elite Series this year is going to be awesome. Like I think it's going to
Yeah.
be evenly matched, and I would be surprised if there's one team dominating and going undefeated this year. I don't see that happening.
No, I don't. I don't either. As I talked to Martin earlier, I said, well, this year is definitely going to be the most competitive league that Norway has seen in many years.
Ages, yeah.
Yeah, ages, and it's awesome. It's really good for the Norwegian league because you get a lot of more exposure, a lot more. Sorry, a lot more excitement, and hopefully we're bringing some more fans from it as well. So it's nothing but positive for the Norwegian league, and it's going to be awesome to be a part of this year.
We're excited. We'll show up. Sigurd, see you April 7th.
Oh yeah, that's true for sure. Yeah,
It's
Looking forward to
first
it.
football weekend.
me too.
Let's go.
Yeah, yeah,
All right,
it'll be
Kasper.
fun.
Thank you so much for joining the podcast and also for being so open and sharing us all the intel that all the other teams is going to use against you later.
Yeah, good. I'll take
Uh,
it.
Everyone, hey, if you don't have nothing to fear, you're the biggest baller out there. You know what I mean?
Thanks for having me, guys, and
Hey, thanks for coming.
reach out if you need anything.
For sure, for sure. Thank you so
You want
much,
my
man.
you want my playbook as well?
What?
Post it
Martin,
on there.
Martin, get posted on AM Sports.
Yeah. You want to post my playbook on AMsports as well? So now we got my depth chart. You want my playbook, call sheet.
Preferably just a top 10 plays that you like to run in situations. That would be the best. Like,
Your first 10 plays on the
yeah,
first weekend. That would be nice
first
for me.
script,
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
scripted plays.
70%
I'll not
quick
send it to
game
Sigurd, I
probably.
promise.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, man. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, boys.